Hey y'all, it's Crystal at MrsHappyHomemaker.com, and I'm in the studio today testing some new recipes for the website, and it's lunchtime, starting to get a little bit hungry. So I went next door to the grocery store. Yes, the grocery store is directly next door to my cooking studio. How convenient is that, right? And they had a really great deal on cube pork, which is basically just pork that's been tenderized. It's for like a cube steak that's beef, but this is a pork cube steak. And I decided that I would buy them and fry them up real quick and make some fried pork sandwiches and do a quick video too and show you how I did it. So let's get started. So first I'm going to start off with some flour. I'm just going to pour some in my dish here for dredging. And I'm not really measuring, just pouring some in there, enough that I think will coat the pork chops pretty good. And I'm going to season this flour, and this is all-purpose flour, by the way. I'm going to season this with a little bit of seasoned salt. I'm going to measure some in my hand so I don't add too much. And a little bit of paprika, actually the rest of my paprika. Score! I threw that into the trash can, and it made a basket. Yay me. Anyway, and I'm going to take some black pepper and season it with that. Sometimes I use a little bit of garlic powder too, but decided not to this time. Sometimes I will just take the cube pork and dredge it straight into the flour, and sometimes I dip it in a wet mixture first. I have some buttermilk that needs to be used, so I'm going to go ahead and pour some in this dish right here, and I'm going to first dredge it or dip it in the buttermilk and then dredge it in the flour mixture, and then I'm going to set it over here on my baking sheet and let it rest for a little bit. Alright, so I've got my pork cube steaks. I'm going to dip it in the buttermilk, making sure to coat it, and now I'm going to put it in the flour. And make sure it's coated all over. Shake off a little bit of excess, and then I'm going to lay it on my baking, or my platter right here. I'm going to let it rest. Now I'm just going to continue to do that until I have used all my cube pork steaks, which today I've got 3. So here is my cube pork steaks all coated with the flour. I'm going to let this rest for about 15 minutes, and that will give time for the breading to really adhere to the meat so it won't fall off when I fry it. So they have sat for 15 minutes, and I am just giving them one more quick dredge in the seasoned flour. And I'm not going to let them rest. I'm going to go ahead and bring my oil to a nice hot frying temperature after I coat these in the flour. Now, you don't have to do this, but I like, if you want a thicker crust, which is what I would like to achieve with these, dunking it twice is a great idea. I'm going to pour some vegetable oil in my skillet here, and I'm going to bring it to medium-high heat. So I've got my vegetable oil nice and hot, ready to fry in my skillet here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the pork steaks in. These are looking beautiful. I just gave these a flip, and I'm going to let them cook in this oil for another few minutes, and then I'm going to take them out and let them drain on my paper towel lined plate right there. Alright, these babies are done. I'm going to take them out and put them on my paper towel lined plate, and I'm going to season them with some salt and pepper while they're still hot. Now the time I've been waiting for, it's time to eat. I'm going to go ahead and assemble my sandwich. I'm going to use just regular old white bread. You can use buns if you'd rather use that, like hamburger buns. So first I'm spreading my bread with some mayonnaise. And now I'm going to take some romaine lettuce, which is my favorite type of lettuce. You can use iceberg too. And put a good little coating on there. I'm going to put that much, about 2 slices worth. And I'm going to take some pepper, because I love my pepper, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of pepper on the other side of the mayonnaise coated bread. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a rabbit, oh whatever, I'm taking the big one. I'm going to set my cube pork steak right there. And that's it. Set my bread on top, and there's my lunch. Now that's a sandwich, you guys. Look at that. Yum. I'm going to go eat my lunch. Going to grab some chips to go along with it. And I'll see y'all later. If you've enjoyed this recipe, then check out my blog, mrshappyhomemaker.com. You can also find more of my food videos on YouTube and Facebook as Mrs. Happy Homemaker. I'm also on Pinterest and Instagram, Mrs. Happy Homemaker there too. And I'm That Housewife on Twitter because Mrs. Happy Homemaker, well, it wouldn't fit. So go subscribe and follow and all that good stuff. And share this video too. I'd be much appreciated. I'm going to go eat my sandwich. Bye, y'all. Hey, you can take a bite of this?
Yes.
You know, hold it. You can take. Ooh, goodness, that's a giant bite. Ate half my sandwich in one bite. What do you think? Is it good?
Yeah.
It's really good. He approves.
It's delicious.
You want one?
Right. Sure.
Come here. This is my boy Ethan. He's in the studio with me today. So I'm making him a sandwich, and I'm for real gonna go up here and eat instead of just eating right here. Talk to y'all later, guys. Bye.